from CarolineVencil.com, and I am here today to talk to you all about all things blogging. If you have any questions or need any help, there are freebies and templates in the description below. Feel free to check those out, and let's get into this video. Let's talk about repurposing content. Let us talk about repurposing our content, because this is one of those things where I could talk about this forever. I really could, because I'm such a big fan of it. I'm really a big fan of this, because we have to remember, like, before we even get into like the actual question, when I say repurposing content to people, they immediately are like, that's wrong. A lot of people have that initial reaction of like, it is wrong if I take a blog post and turn it into an ebook. It is wrong if I take a page from one of my workbooks that I sell and make it into a freebie, an opt-in, like a free opt-in for my site. Why? Why is that wrong? Why is it wrong to use your blog post as a script and make a YouTube video reading exactly what's on your blog post? Why is it wrong to take an Instagram caption and turn it into an email? None of these things are wrong. None of these things are wrong. Speaking from experience, as far as like repurposing content, there is only so many different ways that I can tell people to stop, like for my primary blog, for my primary money saving niche, there's only so many different ways that I can tell people to stop spending and start saving. There's only so many different ways that I can say, you know, you can make your own Starbucks at home. You could if you wanted to. There's only so many different ways that I can say all of the same things over and over and over again. But what's really important to remember is we could be saying the same thing over and over and over and over again, and people don't see it. The internet just works like that sometimes. Some of my favorite blog posts get no traffic. And that's not a fault of the blog post itself. It's because of the fact that it's just not a good SEO post. So not a lot of people are going to see it. Some of my favorite Instagram posts don't get a lot of likes, and that's okay. I take that content and I turn it into an email instead, or you could turn it into a reel or whatever it is. So there's a ton of different things that you can do as far as like repurposing your content. The goal here to remember is that it's not wrong, number one. And then number two, we have to remember that we are reaching different audiences each time. And number three, we have to remember that we are all kind of basically like children when it comes to actually hearing things. Okay. So I'm saying this because I'm in the personal finance space. So I tell people, like, you have to stop spending money on credit cards if you want to get out of credit card debt. Like, how many different ways can I say this? We have to be told things over and over and over again. And sometimes we have to just mentally be in the right space to be willing to accept that knowledge. Think about it with like literally, oh, I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying this. Think about it with your husband. Like, for the love, why don't you put your shoes away? Shoe rack. Please put your shoes away. Please put your shoes away. Please put your shoes away. And it's not until he realizes that the shoe rack is right there. He's like, oh, I can just take my shoes off directly under the shoe rack. Why didn't I think of that before? And it's like, I've just been saying it over and over and over again. So it's one of those things where it's like you can say things over and over and over again, and people just aren't ready to hear it. People aren't ready to accept it. It happens sometimes. And it's not until they're ready to accept it and we put our information directly in front of their faces that they're like, wow, you just changed my life. Why had I never heard anybody ever say to put their shoes in the shoe rack before? It's like, I've been saying this for months, for years, and I'm glad that you're listening to it now. I guess that one Instagram post really just struck a nerve. Like, you never know when people are ready to actually listen. So our job as bloggers, as content creators, podcasters, YouTubers, TikTokers, does not matter. Our job is to just continue to put that information out there. Our job is to continue to put that information out there, to get it in front of people, to keep saying it over and over and over again. And yeah, does it get draining? Yes, it does. So what are we going to do? We're going to repurpose our content. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Every single time that we're like, you know, I want to write an ebook about how to save money. Oh, but I'm not allowed to use my blog posts where I say the exact same content. I have to start from scratch. I have to stare at a blank page and then fabricate's the wrong word, and write out 5-10 pages worth of content. Like, no, there's no reason for that. That's making more work for yourself, and nobody needs that. So that's my spiel on repurposing as far as like, is it wrong? Is it right? Is it good? Is it bad? Like, you can do whatever you want. It is your content. Take that Instagram caption and read it and make it into or read it and turn it into a reel. Make that Instagram caption into an email. Use a blog post as a script for a YouTube video. Use it as a script for a TikTok. Use it as a script for an Instagram. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Take the outline for the course that you just made and make it into a checklist. Steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, you have a product that you can sell as well. Or you can give it to people for free as a checklist. You're not giving away the farm. There's nothing wrong with that. And remember, here's something else. Not everybody is your mom. I've said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it because I think it's so funny. Not everybody's your mom. Not everybody reads every single thing that you write across every single social media platform. Not everybody is like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And thank gosh, nobody's all like that. That would be really, really creepy. If somebody went through my blog and was like, I read all 400 of your blog posts and every single email that you've ever written. Calm down over there. It's just one of those things where there's nothing wrong with this. So when we're talking about repurposing, that's my big spiel about repurposing. Okay, could you please go over the process of turning blog posts into ebooks? Let's talk about how do you take a blog post and turn it into an ebook? Because while we're talking about repurposing, this is actually kind of like a really cool thing that you can do. My favorite thing in the entire world is I literally take some of my blog posts that I think are really helpful, that are like step-by-step tutorials basically on how to X, Y, and Z, and I will turn them into a blog post. I will copy the entire blog post that I have written, paste it into a Microsoft doc, get rid of any of the pin images, or even any images that I don't have, like that I don't want to put into an ebook, and so that it's primarily just text. I will get rid of any mentions of the word inside of this post or related posts or anything like that. I will do a Command F or a Control F to find the word post inside of this new ebook, and I will remove any kind of a mention of the word post or mentioning the fact that this is a blog post and not an ebook. I will find those things. I will remove them. I've removed the pins and all of that stuff. You can also, by the way, use a pin as the cover of your ebook. You're welcome. It's my favorite thing to do. I take my pin and it's now the cover of the ebook. So there's that. So we take out all of the things that are mentioning that it's a blog post. I also take out the like prompt to get people to leave comments at the end of it. Because most of my blog posts have a like, what is your favorite way to save money? Kind of like a prompt to get people to leave a comment. I'll remove that. I'll remove any mention of the post. I'll remove images. I'll remove any like cross posting, like find out more information at this post here. If it's just like a blurb about a related post, yes, you can get somebody to proofread it. I don't do that because I usually spend enough time making my blog posts good. Good is really relative. And I'm also not like a perfectionist. Can you tell by the hair? Like, I'm not a perfectionist. Sometimes I have perfectionist tendencies, and it's a very slippery slope for me of if I am trying to be a perfectionist about something, then it turns really consuming very quickly. So do I pay somebody to proofread it? No. Will I skim through it and make sure that it makes sense? Absolutely, I will. Absolutely, I will. And then at the footer of each one of those pages inside of this brand new Microsoft Doc or Google Doc or whatever it is, I'll put in, a copyright with my name, the year, all rights reserved for personal use only. Maybe I'll do the page numbers. Maybe I won't. It all kind of depends. And then I download it as a PDF, and it is all set and ready to go. Ta-da! Yeah. It doesn't have to be something that is like, you don't have to hire a professional editor, a proofreader for sure. If you want to do that, absolutely. I don't stress as much about like making sure that it is like a professional thing. because this is a PDF download that I'm giving people from Shopify. If this was something that was going to get printed off of Amazon or something, or even on Kindle, I would absolutely have like an editor do it. But these are like 5 to 20 page ebooks, depending on how long it is, depending on how many blog posts it is. And it doesn't have to be hard. These are things that I put in my shop and they sell like hotcakes. I'm like, this is wild to me. Like, this blog post has like 3 people who read it a month, but it's the #1 bestseller in the shop. Make it make sense. So that's all that to say, this is one of those things where when you're repurposing your content, this is up to you. Do you have to do this? Absolutely not. Can you do this though? Yes. Is this a great way to fill up a shop with more content? Yes. Is this a great way to not make more people, but to get more people to read your content that you spent a lot of time creating and crafting and helping them with? Yes. And the people who buy it are much more likely. This is like a really, and I have to do some more studying into like the psychology of this, but people who buy things are much more likely to actually read them and to actually take the next steps and to do that action that you're suggesting to them inside of that product, whether it's a course or an ebook or a printable or whatever. The people who pay for something are much more likely to see results from it. Blows my mind every single time. So that's how you would repurpose an ebook. Copy and paste into a Google Doc, remove any images, check for mentions of a blog post, and save it as a PDF. There you go. I also like to add an extra page because I'm extra like this. You don't have to do this. I do it because I'm a pain in the butt sometimes. But I like to add an extra page of like an upsell. So on the last page of the ebook, I will have an upsell image that I use from Canva, and I'll paste it onto the last page. And it's like, if you need more help with whatever the topic of the conversation of the book is about, click here, and it will take them to whatever membership site will help them with that. Whether that's the blogging membership site or the templates membership or the money membership. That's kind of my upsell on the last page of the ebook, because if they liked it and they need more help kind of staying on that straight and narrow path to see results, I want them to be able to have that opportunity to see those results and to get the next steps that they need. And so there you go. That's really all that it is. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. The process of taking a blog post and turning it into an ebook, that's kind of the extent of it. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more information on all things blogging, Canva, templates, graphic design, funnels, all that fun stuff. Make sure that you check out the stuff inside of the description for more freebies, templates, more things that you can sign up for to help you on all things inside of your blogging journey. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.